Good day everyone, this is Sir Charlie Galvan for the continuation of Module 7, the climate change phenomenon. So what can be done to address climate change? So there are two general approaches in addressing the climate change. First is climate change mitigation and the second one is climate change adaptation. So climate change mitigation. This refers to measures that can be reduce atmospheric accumulation of greenhouse gases or GHGs and thereby delay the predicted impact of GHGs in global climate. This includes the reduction of sources of CHG or climate hazard gases, emission or abatement, and the increase of terrestrial storage of carbon or sequestration. Then climate change adaptation. So this refers to adjustment in ecological, social, or economic system in response to actual or expected climate change stimuli, their effects or impacts to reduce vulnerability, moderate damages, and realize opportunities. So there are tips on how to have a low carbon diet. First is use compact fluorescent lamps or CFLs instead of incandescent bulbs. So why do you think this is one of the tips on how to have a low carbon diet? It's because fluorescent bulbs has a low energy, consume less energy, so therefore the fluorescent bulbs or lamps produce a low heat to environment. So second is observe the 3 R's: reuse, reduce, and recycle. Of course, this is a very important tip to less the effect of climate change. You need to reuse things, reduce using things, and recycle things. By that, you can be able to help our environment to recover or to less the effects of such factors affecting the climate change. Third is buy energy efficient appliances. Examples of appliances that efficient in energy saving is like solar appliances, because when you have solar appliances, so ang energy lang imong gina-consume is gikan sa heat sa sun, so you don't need to recharge using the electricity, using the energy. So that's a very helpful tip to help our environment to be better. So 4 is walk, bike, or carpool. So of course, to help our environment, you need this tip is very helpful. Instead of using cars, vehicles, motorcycles, just walk, bike, or carpool. Because by doing this, you can save energy, and this by walking, biking, or carpool, you will not use fuel, so you can save fuel energy, and you will not or dili ka maka-release of gases sa air, so it's very helpful. So next is patronize mass transportation such as the MRT and LRT. So this is also very helpful because malas ang pag-use sa vehicles, sa mga motorcycles, when patronizing using of MRT and LRT. So this promotes na di na makagamit or dili na makadagdag pa o issues sa atong environment. So it can save also an energy. So next is turn off lights and appliances when not in use. Are you familiar with this, diba? Sometimes we forgot to unplug the appliances, which is very wrong because by forgetting to unplug your appliances, dako po siya factor nga maka-affect sa ating environment. So you shouldn't forget turn off lights and appliances to reduce risk to our environment. So next is unplug cellular phones, chargers when the battery is fully charged. So I think you are all affected by this because sometimes bisag full na kaya tayo pong gina-charge, and that's very wrong it affecting our environment. Isa siya sa cause nga makakalastag energy, which is electricity. Kaya bisag full now, we're still nag-charge sa Japan, diba? So it's very wrong. It's not saving energy. And conserve water. Of course, you need to conserve water because not all the time na available ang water. And even here in our place, sometimes walay water, especially if mag-ulan, pag ugma kay mag-blackout ang water. So it's very important nga mag-conserve water, save water for us, for you to, of course, para di makamubay nga may water, so you need to conserve water. And next, priorities and outcomes of the National Climate Change Action Plan. So priorities and outcomes. So first is priorities, food security. Outcomes, availability, stability, accessibility, and affordability of safe and healthy food amidst climate change. So it is one of the priority, food security, because in the middle of crisis of the climate change, in the middle of the flood, earthquake, or any natural disaster, at least your food is secure. You have food to survive in the daily, in the middle of the crisis. Next is water sufficiency. Outcomes, improve resilience of major water resources and infrastructure, manage supply and demand, manage water quality and water conservation. So it is one of the priorities because water is life, diba? We can't live without water. So we should really concern about our water conservation, how to manage, how to save water. Kung saan na to pag tama nga paggamit sa water, because it's very important. So number 3, environmental and ecological stability. Outcomes, ecosystem resilience, environmental stability, protection and rehabilitation of critical ecosystem, restoration of ecological services. So it's one of the priorities because we're living in this world, in this earth. So this ecosystem environment is very significant to us as a person. So as a human being nagasalig ra pod sa environment, sa itong ecosystem, we need to take care of our environment because di ataga ko og source sa food, sa oxygen, and everything. And of course, if ang ecosystem na kulang aning aspect, like if there's wala na yung mga fish, kung saan nato pagkabuhi, kung saan nato i-consume. If there's no plants, kung saan nato pagkabuhi, kung saan nato pag-serve everyday, and animals, and so on. So each part of ecosystem is very important. Next is human security. Outcomes: reduction of the risk of women and men to climate change and disasters. So security of human. So of course, if you have enough education on how to handle situation in the middle of crisis, so secure na imong self, and may go man ka sa disaster, at least you are less vulnerable in that kind of situation. And of course, with the help of community service, the help of government, mas secure ang human. Like there is mga rescuer na in the middle of the crisis, na evacuation center, or na ay mga naka-ready nga mga food, mga first aid for you to survive. So next is climate friendly industries and services. It is one of the priority because it our world, our earth is slowly damaging, so it is important to promote mga industries, mga company, mga businesses na priority nila ang pag-take care sa environment. Friendly slash environment. Dili lang kwarta-kwarta tanan, but of course to contribute nga malisan ang gitabo sa atong climate. So next is sustainable energy. Outcomes: energy efficiency and conservation, sustainable and renewable energy, environmental sustainable transport, climate proofing and rehabilitation of energy and system infrastructure. So of course, conservation, it's one of the priorities because our energy, it's that always dili siya unlimited, like unlimited jud. So it is better to save, to conserve energy para enough pa ang magamit sa tao, and maapod ta tanan sa energy. And next is knowledge and capacity development. In outcomes: enhance knowledge on the science of climate change, enhance capacity for climate change adaptation, mitigation, and disaster risk reduction at the local and community level, and establish gendered climate change knowledge management accessible to all sectors at the national and local level. So it is one of the priorities because science has a lot of contributions sa tong life karon sa which is a technology. So by having knowledge, mga innovations, at least in that way makapangita tag solutions or preventions or mitigations para ma-prevent or malisen ang kakaigtabo sa atong environment. And next is mitigating climate change. First is energy because it is one of the most important na ginagamit sa tao. So energy: reduce heavy dependence on imported fossils fuels by promoting the use of development of renewable energy derived from the sun, solar, wind, water or hydro, geothermal or waste biomass. So dili lang dapat perminti magdependa sa mga imported fossil fuels. Also, we can use renewable energy na gikan sa sun, which is ang solar, di ba naman naman aron ng solar, and wind, katong windmill nga nasa at sulapit nga lugar, and water, hydro, which is example of that is ang Fibico, which is ang water, ang hydro ilang ginagamit to produce energy. So that's very helpful to conserve energy and to use other source of energy, dili lang magdepend lang ta sa mga imported fossil fuels. So next is waste. Promote proper waste disposal and efficient waste management systems such as composting and sanitary landfills, and impose proper treatment of solid, liquid, and gas waste generated by the industrial sector. So kaning waste is very dako siya contribution sa atong sa earth nganong nanay climate change, gaka-worse na atong environment karon because the discipline of people in our ways is not that good, especially sa Philippines, knowing that Philippines is one of the overpopulated nga country. So expected that there's a lot of pollution, especially sa mga cellophane, sa mga cans, bottles. So that's a very bad effect sa atong environment. Pero at least karon di ba kay nanay mga mga prevention nga ginagabuhat, which is using of eco bags, using of paper bags para mas malas na ang pag-use sa mga cellophane, sa mga cans and all. So next is agriculture and land use change of forestry. Promote massive reforestation and afforestation activities. Support organic farming. Mandate the local government units to conduct vigorous information campaigns that will encourage efficient use of water and proper management of rice paddies and livestock, and install storage treatment facilities to catch, use runoff and rainwaters, and promote the development of high-yielding seeds, varieties that are drought-resistant and requires less water and chemical fertilizers. So promote massive reforestation and forestation activities of, so example, if knowing that today is daghan na kay gapotolog kahoy to use for the use para i-use mga kahoy to make papers or for houses. So promoting massive reforestation is very important. Planting trees and planting trees. So that's the best thing to do, planting trees. So every time na mag-cut mo kahoy, you need to pulihan at imsag fiber good kada tao, di ba, to at least slowly by slowly ang kaya na pud nga imong ito na madagko na sad. So the first dili ra siya kayo risk for us kay naman kay gipuli nga kahoy. And support organic farming. So it's very nice to have organic farming because organic farming is so safe. Like there's no chemicals in the food like the plants and animals. And yeah, some chemicals man good, there's an effect sa atong environment. So it's very important nga organic farming ma-promote na siya for better safety for our health and for our environment. And of course mandate the local government units to conduct vigorous information campaigns because our agricultures, mga farmers is they don't have enough knowledge in that kind of situation. So by educating them by having campaign about that matter, ma-educate sila and mas manaw nila ang dapat pang buhaton para maka-help sa environment, and of course para mas ma-maximize nila ang paggamit silang mga kalupaan, silang mga farms. So yeah, install storage or treatment facilities to catch or reuse runoff and rainwater. So it's very nice no kay the use ang rain is if ato siyang ma-maximize, we can use that um, for our plants, for our animals, especially if there's no water. So storing them is can help us to conserve water. Okay, we don't know the panahon, so at least you have enough water para to use for sa atong tanom, pwede pang luto, pwede sa pang CR and all. And promote the development of yielding seed varieties that are drought resistant. So knowing that dili lang rainy season tanan, so there is drought pod. So at least by promoting the development of kanang mga tanom, mga seeds nga for drought season, so at least makasurvive ang mga tanom kay resistant siya sa or less ra iyang needs sa water and requires less water and chemicals fertilizer. So that's very helpful sa atong agriculture. So last is industry. Popularize the use of energy-saving devices in manufacturing plants. So in industry, kabalo naman tayo industry, they are the one who has like a factory, mga gina-process na machineries. So popularizing the use of energy-saving devices will help to conserve energy and of course to less the effect sa mga example sa mga factories nga gaaso-aso. So if there is a right technology for that, at least, diba, maless ang effect sa atong environment, masave na to atong environment. And next is encourage the use of alternative fuels and renewable energy sources, improve energy efficiency in production processes. The example of that is using of solars, diba? Instead of using fuels, using solars as a renewable energy is very helpful to conserve energy. Di lang kay permitted sa fuels anana, which is the fuels mag-create og siya smoke. So what will happen, diba? It will affect our environment because of the smoke of the gas because of the smoke, because of the gases nga pagawas sa machine. So yeah, so that's all our discussion. Of course, after all the discussion, we have an activity. So this activity entitled do it and reflect. So our activity entitled do it and reflect. So this is the direction. In a long bond paper, choose at least 4 tips on how to have a low carbon diet. So take a picture on your chosen tips as proof and write a reflection on why we should reduce or mitigate greenhouse gases, and also recommend other tips on how to adapt and adjust to climate change. Okay? Is everything clear, class? So I hope you understand our lesson, our discussion for today, and see you next week. Pass your activity next week when we meet. Okay? So have a good day. Thank you.